I disappeared from my family's life, and what happened next was too satisfying. My name is Chris. I walked out of my family's life 10 years ago, and it was the best decision I ever made. Growing up, I was treated like the spare part in a family that only cared about appearances. My parents always favored my younger brother, Ethan. He was the golden boy, athletic, charming, and always in the spotlight. I, on the other hand, was quiet, practical, and apparently a disappointment. My ideas didn't matter, my achievements were dismissed, and my presence was tolerated at best. It all came to a head when I was 23. I had just launched a small online software business while working a part-time job to survive. I came home one evening, excited to tell my parents that my first client had signed a contract. My father barely looked up from his phone, and my mother asked if Ethan had helped me. He hadn't. He never even supported me. But somehow, they gave him credit anyway. Later that night, I overheard them talking about how I was aimless and probably going to end up working for Ethan someday. That was the last straw. I didn't argue. I didn't explain. I simply packed my bags quietly while they were asleep. I left a short note thanking them for everything and disappeared from their lives. I moved across the country and focused entirely on building my business. There were hard times. I ran out of money more than once, slept on the floor of my office, and missed more meals than I can count. But I didn't give up. I learned everything I could about coding, marketing, and management. Slowly, things turned around. My app got noticed by a major company, and I signed a multi-year licensing deal. Within 5 years, I had 20 employees and clients in several countries. By year 8, I had 3 companies running under my name. I had invested in real estate, built a tech school for underprivileged kids, and funded multiple startups. My name was showing up in business magazines. I never looked back at the life I left behind. Until one day, out of the blue, I received an email from my brother. "Hey Chris, long time. Mom and Dad are going through a rough patch. Dad lost his job, and the house is about to be foreclosed. We were wondering if you could help." I stared at the screen for a long moment. I didn't feel angry. I felt calm. I didn't reply right away. Instead, I asked one of my real estate teams to check the status of the house. It was indeed under foreclosure. So I bought it through a holding company, legally, quietly. 3 weeks later, my parents were served the official notice. Ethan called me again, this time in a panic. "Chris, please, the house, it's being bought out by some company. We'll lose everything." "I know," I said. "I own that company." There was silence on the other end. Then he said, "Why would you do this to us?" "You did it to yourselves," I replied, and hung up. I didn't throw them out on the street. I gave them 3 months rent-free to sort their lives, find a new place, and move on. That was more grace than they ever gave me. Once they left, I turned the house into a local mentorship center for young entrepreneurs. It now trains teens in coding, design, and business. Every time I visit the site, I feel a deep sense of peace. I disappeared from their lives not out of hatred, but out of survival. And what happened next wasn't just satisfying, it was justice. Quiet, firm, and final.